Alrighty, so this is what we have. It says it's a gator. I also own a farm. Here we go. You are now watching the 2024 season of Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. So previously, we got rained out of corn planting after running almost 32 hours straight. That was some really, really good sleep I got last night, if you can only imagine. So where we're at today is I already dumped the rain gauge out. I checked it first thing this morning. 1/2 inch of rain. And I was like, alrighty, 1/2 inch of rain on that lighter soil. We could probably run today. Then I was on the phone with Aaron. We were talking about things, plans, futures, what's not, whatever else is going on. And he said, I said, oh, I might go try pushing through on that ground. It's that lighter ledge rock and whatnot. And he said, well, I got 1.5 inches of rain. He's 6 miles from me. Supposedly everything over that hill down into the valley and whatnot got hammered even worse. We got quite a bit, but as you see, like, well, I'm checking on the garden. And here's where we're at. Tomatoes are finally taking off. The rabbit stopped chewing on them. Thank God. Wow. We already got peppers going. What? That's wild. And, well, as you see, something's been chewing on these. So beans and peas, or it might be vice versa, planted them in strips so that we can put them up. This is also planted in strips. It's odd that it hasn't come up yet. I thought I planted them in strips, but they're growing. So at least we got something growing, right? And over here, nothing's showing yet, which is normal, but we got strips and stuff. So I am going to go up to that ground and we are going to see if it's dry enough we can run for a couple hours. It says it's supposed to have a light mist rain this afternoon into the evening, and I'd rather get it all done up there. We got about 3 to 4 hours of running, and then we will be done with corn planting, which will be a very good feeling. And then we will be on to grass. And then, yeah, we got so much to do this year. We're going to stay busy. I didn't show you guys much of this, but this is a fuel tank. This might catch on fire when we cut into it, but this might give us the extension that we need to widen the rest of the roadway. One of the neighbors who I haven't met stopped in this morning and he introduced himself. And he's got some concrete that he's breaking up. He says, you mind if I put it over there? I said, nope, that's exactly why we got that right there. We're widening it out. So, alrighty, enough rambling. Let's go see if it's dry enough up there that we can run. The sun's not out. I have a feeling it's not. I don't want to load the fertilizer, go up there just to unload the fertilizer, because we got a bunch of stuff to do this afternoon if we're not going to be planting. But hopefully we can plant. We got about 35 acres left to go. And, yeah. Hopefully things will be good. So appreciate you guys. And as we see, we do not have much seed actually left. A little bit of seed way. We're probably going to plant most of it, but there was a pile of seed in here. So I appreciate everybody, all my landowners for 2024 that helped me grow some more. We got to clean up in here. What's up, boys? I see them laying down out there. I'm gonna dump that water out and fill it up. And yes, we have to clean in here. They don't stay in here. They're just eating in here. But we need like a mini skid because it's packed in here. What's up, boys? You boys want some grain? And then we'll be able to spread what manure we have left here. But they're working down out back. And then we'll kick them in the front again. Box trailer got to get empty once corn's done. And all of our hay's gonna get done hopefully next week for and put us in a good place. So we've been working on wide. Previously we messed with this culvert, and well, it started pouring and we were in the house. Wood's not good for that. So Aaron and Isaiah hooked me up with a culvert Isaiah actually grabbed corn seed from me, and so he did the work. It's a barter system. It works out. And it is sprinkling a little bit. Not enough that I care yet. But, oh, there's a pipe in there. Get that out of there. Get this one out of here. So this is part of fill. You got to do some digging around, but Isaiah put the pipe in. That's a piece of metal. And my neighbor's actually going to dump some more right over here. We got some up top that we can dump, but extended this whole turn because we were always coming in with the trailers. We were about here, and you'd start, well, one day somebody was going to flip over with the trailer. We got to widen that next, but making this wider so that we can get in and out is a big thing. Yeah. And they've been trucking this driveway stone out of a solar job, actually. That's why there's 2 loads that ended up with me, but we'll get it looking good at some point. But right now we're using what fill is meant for. So 2 houses down actually came in and introduced himself this morning. He's going to bring some concrete. He's always been friendly waved. He's not the one who reported me. Neither is the one right behind me. Neither is John. So John came over and checked it out. So now there is this driveway width. I think he said that was 45, and this is a 15 or 20 foot. So, yeah, 40. This was 40. So we got 55, 60 foot of driveway space across now to make it so much better. But we just got to keep adding to it as we have time and material. I'm gonna say we're not gonna be able to run. We're gonna still look at the field and see. So this might be a tomorrow afternoon project, which, yes, it drags it on more and more, but it is actually got some moisture on the window. You can tell how much rain it got. Everything's moved around. Not a chance. We're gonna make a mess. Okay. So we're not planting today. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Holy smokes, we got some moisture. This was all dry. Okay. Well, we're gonna do some yard work, get some things lined up. We gotta go pick some stuff up later this afternoon. I wish I had a couple more hours yesterday. Would have been done. Nature of the beast. Welcome to farming. So we're gonna do a little bit of organization, and so Isaiah and Aaron dumped this, and what this was roadways in and out of the solar fields. And as we all know, not a big fan of the solar side of it, but they are cleaning up projects that they've completed, and might as well reuse some of the material. And I got a lot of friends that do work in the solars. So there is the fabric sheet underneath it in spots, so we're gonna have to dig around that. But otherwise, it all works out. Like I said, it's bartering, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna spread a little bit out on this. We'll make this a little nicer. I got to get my gooseneck out of the way because we got to run with that to go grab some stuff. I do have the forks on. I might pick the fabric sheet up, and then I'd really like to get some of this material all figured out and done, so we can spread a little bit more of this around. Maybe some of it goes down below, but we got some pieces of metal that we got to dig through, but otherwise it is fill, and that's what it is at the end of the day, and it works out pretty good. But we got to unhook stuff and get ready for our next projects. And here comes the sun. If it can stay like this, maybe tomorrow afternoon we can finish planting. But if we get a half inch or a quarter inch of rain like they're saying, not a chance. Those of you who have watched along for a little while, as you know, we got trailers in the mud and we always battled stuff. So that dump trailer's got to come out. Came up in my memories yesterday. We were using it to haul grass 2 years ago. So that should probably get put back to work doing some stuff. I think we got a whole set of tires for it because the ones on them are really farm use only, local use only. But picked up all the fabric sheet, so they lay that down below so that they can pull it up without pulling all the dirt out, and then you got to dig through it. So push the rest of our demo debris around and leveled it out some. It's not perfect. Doing it with a tractor is kind of challenging, especially when the bucket doesn't have a good cutting edge on it at all. But leveled out some of it. Honestly, one other load and we'd be looking somewhat good. The backside, we got to go along with the torch. I don't want metal sticking all up out of it. Go along with the torch, cut any of that off, and then we can work on probably filling it with some stone. Or I think there's a shale pit, and I believe it's on my property. I think it's around the corner. We got to do some digging because all of these roadways are all shale. Somebody had mentioned shale pit and they thought it was on the neighbor's property, but I think it's on mine. So if that's the case, once we get grass off, we'll do some digging. And even if we rent a machine for a day and we can build our roadways all up and our driveway up and stuff like that, that would make a big difference than having to pay to have stone and stuff and shale. Like, so I moved Colburn's chisel plows, which I got to bring those back to them. They're gonna get loaded on the gooseneck at some point. So here's what shale is, because I set the chisel plows down in it. This roadway is extremely hard and I started widening it out, but here's shale and it packs very well. Chisel plows dug into them as they came over, but that's what shale is. I don't know what all that's from. Huh. I have no idea what any of this is from. That's kind of weird. It's pins for like a... It's not from when we crashed, because none of that stuff goes on it. Might have just been in with the shale. So, pad's looking good. We can park some trailers on it. We can unhook some things. Tailgate's got to go on the Mack again. I'm going to put the forks back on, so we might do that this afternoon. That way that's in a good place. It needs a little bit of work, but rolling baskets probably shouldn't have parked them there. I thought they were out of the way, because we can push some of that stuff over and square this up. And honestly, if I can have every trailer parked up front here and not have to drive through the grass and have headaches and stuff like that, make a big difference. So, and the sun's out. If the sun stays out, I'm going to be a very happy person for tomorrow, because we can finish planting. Okay, cleaning some things up. Gooseneck out of the way. This got to go on the pickup. We got to run next town over. We got some things to pick up, but as the weatherman was right, it is going to rain. Just finished up burning those benches that were in the shop. I'll let that clean itself up, and then we'll scoop it up. But you can see the wall of rain coming. Got the land all moved. Probably take the jack handle out, put it back in. So honestly, I'd love to have all my trailers sitting here, except the fertilizer trailer can sit out there. We use that a few times a year. But Landall, gooseneck, both manure trailers, dump trailer, and the Mack, all on a pad together would just be so convenient. I think we're going to only be able to fit a few until we expand it a little wider, which is, we've done a big game changer from where we were a couple months ago, even 2-3 months ago. But let's run into town. I got to get a map sensor for my pickup. That's been bad for a while, but I was dreading spending $368. Yes, you can get them online cheaper. Usually they have issues. I've done that in the past, and faulty, and you're out $200 anyways. So kind of want this to burn itself out. Also got to get cash for what we're picking up, and then yeah, Mack's doing its thing. It needs a full service, and then it will get hooked back to the manure trailer probably, and we'll see what work comes of it. But it's gonna rain. Probably close the dumpster instead of it getting full. So that was good. We burned those, burned that, burned the pallet that was hanging out here, some other little stuff, some stuff that's in the house, and so on and so on. So my pickup's had a mass airflow sensor that's been bad, and it's like $300. $300 when you're trying to get things done, that's a chunk of change. Second one, actually third one we've ever put in the truck. Aftermarket ones, like I said, they're just junk. They're always quirky. They never work quite right. So I called GM Cobleskill Chevy. They got one ordered. It came in 2 days ago, and it's a small world because the guys in there watch along. So I appreciate it. Along with they're just very helpful. So drop things off on the way home and things like that. That goes a long way. It makes for a small world and some great people. So we got a new one. Throw that in. We'll have to get the code cleared. It's just a set of 2 Allen wrenches and pop it out, switch pins. Tried cleaning it previously, and what it does is just defuel the truck and make it so it doesn't drive as well as it should, which towing a trailer it shows, but otherwise we were getting ridiculous fuel economy with it because we couldn't run it, let's just say, hot. So alrighty, off to Agway, gotta grab some things there, and then we'll be home. And it is raining yet again. So it's definitely raining at home. I think we're on the southern tip of the storm, which is good because it gets wider. Got to throw the trailer on quickly, and I figured I'd unhook the batteries and we'd swap them out. So this is the old one, as you see, painted blue. That middle probe is not touching anything any longer. I don't know how that happened. It goes like that. But here's a new one. If they get dirty, you can clean them and stuff like that. Usually does not work out so well. Once they're dirty, they're dirty. We're loaded up. Appreciate Chris. He reached out to me actually a week ago. He sent me a picture of this mower, and I'll explain it when we get home. I don't want to take nothing out like his mailbox. That's the problem with the 36-foot trailer. It's longer. But he does dumpsters and works concrete full time and lives 4 miles away. He hit me up and said, he was like, I have this mower. And I was busy, didn't even think about it. And then he sent me it again. He said, or best offer. Well, we did best offer on it. And I think it was fair to him and it was fair to us. Well, we got 3 items on the trailer. 2 are ours and 1 somebody might use. So I think the middle item might be the best item that we could use if it works right. I'll show you when we get home. But we chopped right on this road for Eric Stanton, came up, took a right. So close to home. Alrighty, so this is what we have. It says it's a Gator. I don't know. It's beat up, but for what we paid for it, if it blows up, we're just gonna scrap it. So we got that. Supposedly this works because it was in the barn. He wasn't really sure. But 120 kilowatt generator, 60 kilowatt continuous. We did end up taking that box off because it was going to be $1,000 to switch back and forth, and I was like, I don't have a generator. We're not milking cows. But honestly, at the end of the day, if this works, I'm good. For what I paid for it, he was going to scrap it if it didn't work out. And we got this thing, which is it's a cedar. It was a 3-point hitch cedar, and somebody converted it into skid steer attachment. So this is going to somebody, and they're going to tinker around on it, and we might get some drone action. But I know, more junk, as some other farmers would say. That stuff bothers me. Like, someday I'd like more modern equipment, but at the end of the day, the modern equipment depreciates. Like maybe 8400s, maybe 8430s. Maybe a 9200 or something like that. But if I went out and bought 8400 last year as my tractor, we would have probably not been able to make payments on it. So I don't know. Yeah, should we have planted corn earlier? I don't know. There's still a lot of people planting corn, and most of that nitrogen that got applied, if it got applied ahead of time, and if it's got 5-6 inches of rain in the last 3 weeks, how much is still in the ground? So I think we might be actually somewhat okay on some of that side. But it is getting dark to our east, so hopefully it stays over there. It's getting dark to our west too. That's coming from the west. Yeah, we're gonna get wet. Hang it. Well, we'll get that unloaded quickly. I don't know if I got a PTO shaft that will fit in that or not. So. I don't really know. I love it when people tell me I'm a YouTube farmer, as if that's an insult. Like, I love meeting people because of YouTube, but at the end of the day, I could not use any income associated with YouTube, because yes, YouTube is a business to me. Who else would be dumb enough to put this kind of effort into something without a return of anything on it? So, and you guys get free entertainment. Like, there's no skin off your back if you're watching the videos. Zero. But it is a business to me. So is truck and manure. So is truck and feed. If you're not business orientated in this world, and I get that people think, oh, you should be doing just your crops, not helping anybody. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's income. And until we make it big time on YouTube, which if we ever make it big time on YouTube, I doubt it. We will have to have other sources of income other than just crop farming. So, the people who crop farm and think they know everything about it, I'm very confused, because you know price of corn and everything else. And granted, I think we're going to be pretty okay on corn right now. That's high enough. We are somewhat off. I'll show you. Somewhat off. Blades actually look halfway decent. I don't know. But if we make it someday on YouTube, we probably won't be running junk any longer. Our junk will be nice junk. I don't know. There's always jealous people in the world, but usually farmers either hate somebody and run them down, or they respect them. So I guess we know what he is as far as being grumpy. It was pretty cool. My teacher in college, so Mr. Testa, you know, thanks to you too. The e-brakes on. It thinks it is. So Mr. Testa's son, Connor, watches along and got to meet them at McFadden's Plow Day there. And it's cool because, well, he knows me from my college days when we were living it up and getting educated, and I appreciate the kind words and them watching along. It goes a long way, and there's a lot of people local that are very good to me. Taking this off this way. Shout out to you guys, because there's a next generation that wants hope in agriculture, and when you're just grumpy and miserable and stuff like that, it pushes a lot of people away. And there's no two ways to farm the same. So at the end of the day, if you have to have a side business or be unique or find a niche market, go for it. Because at the end of the day, we're all supporting the world with food. And there's always the drive with feeding the world and doing things like that. And our generation, our farming generation, what is it? 65 years old is average generation, 65. So at the end of the day, these grumpy old farmers that are pushing the next generation out from wanting to keep farming or wanting to get into it, it only ends up with less people farming and less knowledge of anything. And am I the most knowledgeable person on anything? No. But at the end of the day, I've learned a lot of stuff by doing. And yeah. Always try to do better the next day. Don't be a miserable person. I wasn't so sure about this generator, but if it works, it will be very handy for us. Probably put it in the barn and see what comes of it. Our fire pad there that we burned, we gotta sweep it up, pick it up, run the magnet over it, good. At some point, that big fuel tank, we got to cut it open and see without blowing up. Okay, picked up any nails, letting that burn all the way out. That thing's been awesome. Gooseneck's in here. Hool manure tanker's in here with the truck. Honestly, I should have gone a little bit tighter on that one, but we made up for it. We're pretty tight on this one. Gorgeous sunset after we got some more rain. Once I level out and get that corner fixed up, this trailer can go over. This truck will probably come off it, so then you can pull out, make the corners. The table's got to get moved at some point, and we got to clean up this area here, but then we'll be able to fit silage truck probably next to it, and maybe even another tanker once we get it all done up. So alrighty, I am gonna wrap up some of my stuff. Yanko wants dinner. It's almost 9 o'clock. Tomorrow we are yeah, see, we're gonna get this mower figured out, probably mow around some stuff. I doubt we're gonna be able to plant anything tomorrow, not with the rain we've been getting, so kind of part of it. But appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.